Hi, thanks for joining me. This morning I'm going to try and cook some rice and beans, and I'm going to try to do it a simpler way, a way that might be a little bit easier for myself and others who might want to cook this out in the bush, especially when the camping weather really starts to come around. And I'm obviously not too far in the bush right now because you can hear the house being built next door. A lot of music and yelling and nail guns and everything else you'll probably have to deal with in this video, but none of those things I think will be nearly as annoying as I am. So, stay tuned and we'll see what we can whip up. Okay, let's go over my kit real quick. This is going to be nothing new from the last videos. It's going to be the same zebra pot with my music cup inside and the little stand that I made the other day for that inside to kind of help it be a little bit more stable. And I'm going to cook my rice in here. And I brought along some McCormick chili seasoning, quarter cup of rice, about a quarter of a, those packets of bacon you get at the grocery store, about a quarter of one of those, and I brought a cup of beans because I wanted a lot of beans. So that's what I have to cook. In this little bag I have the same Firebox Nano G2. I have the same little pot grabber utensil that everybody sells, and a lighter. I also have in here a titanium spork. You can get those just about anywhere now. And my old Guyot bottle, obviously, once again full of water. And that's all I have, so let me start getting this all set up and I'll get back to you. Okay, I feel like we've got a good little established flame on our G2 Nano. The funny thing is when I first received this thing in the mail after I ordered it, I didn't really think that it was going to be big enough to do anything useful at all. And oddly enough, the more I mess with this thing, the more I love it. Okay, I feel like I have a pretty good coal bed going here. So now I'm going to go ahead and get this bacon going. Try not to touch this too much. And let me break out the little pot holder here. Oh goodness, that smells good already. Holy mackerel. Whew. I get the feeling this will be a treat. I think this will add a lot of flavor to our rice and beans as well. Normally you would do this with sausage or something like that, but I didn't have any, and this is what I did have, so this is what I'm using. I kind of feel like that's what bushcraft should really be about, not buying new tools every time you go camping, but making tools or making do with what you have or whatever food you have. Outdoor skills to me are not just about having the latest, greatest bushcraft tool. Outdoor skills to me are about going without tools if you can. Now, over time I've sort of fallen into that whole, gear geek mentality, just because, as I get a little bit older, sometimes I want to be a little bit more comfortable, and I just want to enjoy myself a little bit more and relax a little bit more rather than doing so much work. But it doesn't hurt to keep up on, skills anyway, should you ever need them and you don't have the gear. But, I talk about bushcraft, and I call what I do bushcraft, to people sometimes, just in general conversation. But to me, honestly, it's just camping. As soon as you label something, you almost have to put it in a box. And I just don't like doing that. Some days I bring gear, and some days I don't. There was a time when everything I would bring would fit in a small day pack. I mean, I literally just had a tarp, a hank of paracord, maybe some tape, and a fire steel, and a good knife. And that would be about it. Honestly, my first, I'm not going to say this is my first camping, but my first bushcraft, when I really started to study that, art form. All I carried was a Mora, a hank of paracord, a little day pack, a tarp, and a fleece blanket, because I couldn't afford a wool blanket, so I carried a fleece blanket. But that's all I had. And honestly, through most of the year in my location, that worked out just fine. And honestly, it still would. But, as age and jobs and all that take their toll, I started trying to find something that would be easier on my back. So then I started hammock camping. Once I started hammock camping, I fell in love with that. And so I bought all the gear that's, required in quotations for that. And now I'm actually just kind of backsliding a little bit. I have this little wood burning stove and all that, because in the summertime I don't need a huge campfire. But still don't really favor tents too much. But I'll be honest with you, I made a tent that I saw on Far North Bushcraft and Survival, and I made that one specifically for cold winter camping, which we don't have too much out here. But when it does get cold, it does get pretty cold. And it's a cold and wet winter. We don't have a good, snowy, dry, cold winter out here. It's just always wet when it's cold. So I made the little tent to put a heater inside, like a hot tent. And I think I'll try that if it gets cold enough this year. We'll see how that turns out. Oops, get on there. Gosh, that bacon smells amazing. I've just added the pre-soaked kidney beans to this little pot. So while they're heating up with that delicious bacon, we could be cooking something else. Let's get our rice cooking underneath. Take this off for a moment. Okay. These guys together. A little water in the boiler. A little water for myself. Put our rice in our music cup. And I'll put basically enough water to cover that, and then a little bit. Shouldn't take much. Drop that down in there. Okay. And now this guy right here, we'll drop on top of there. And we'll let it all cook. Let it go for about, we'll say 20 minutes, and then we'll check on the rice. We are cooking away now. And it smells amazing. All we're waiting on really at this point is for the rice to cook up. I'm going to add just a little bit of this McCormick original chili seasoning up here to the top. That's steaming nicely, so we're getting good and hot up there. I'm just going to add a little bit. I don't want too much. I don't want it to be overpowering. Take this lid off. Mix that chili seasoning in there. It's all right. Okay. Let me check on our rice. Rice is getting there. A few more minutes. This G2 Nano to me seems to work best with about pencil size, you know, like a number 2 pencil size stick. If you can keep it pretty well loaded with those in the magazine, it does pretty well. I mean, it is one of those things where you do have to constantly feed it. I do have wood around here that I can attempt to try the Swedish fire torch with it, but I just haven't tried it yet. You know, most of my videos lately have just been quick videos of cooking before work. So I also have to, you know, cook my meal and give myself a little bit of time to get everything cleaned up and put away as well before I go, you know, because when you have a family, you know, if the wife ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So we try to keep mama happy. Let's see how our rice is doing. Oh, that was awesome. That was purely accidental. But let me show you what just happened. Found a place to put my lid. That's excellent. Start doing that from now on. It's got a lid hanger on the side of it. Gosh, this smells amazing. I don't think I'd want to do this in bear country. Not much longer on the rice at all. A few more minutes. Better not try it. I'm sure that spork would get pretty hot sitting right there. I don't think I'm going to add any more wood to the fire. I think what's in there is going to be plenty to get that rice finished off. Wow, there's a T-6 Texan II airplane flying over that the Air Force uses to train their pilots. Gosh, I would love to fly something like that. But I am very proud to live in a place where people can do that, even though that opportunity hasn't come available to me. I'm very proud for those who can. I think we're about done, so I'm going to go ahead and start dismantling this whole operation. Rice looks and smells great. If I could get it out of there. Okay. Oh yeah. She's ready. She is perfect. I'm going to take this off, set it aside to cool, and I'll take some of this right here, put it down in my rice, and I feel like this is going to be amazing. I put this little pan back over here on top of this zebra pot to keep the ants from getting too wild. And now I'm gonna have myself a meal. I sure appreciate you joining me this morning. If you stuck with me through the whole thing, you're a true saint. Hopefully there'll be more videos to come. Thank you. Bye.